Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my review of When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace, Episode 8. You know, this episode came out yesterday on Monday, when I thought that the time slot was Wednesdays now. Okay, why exactly? I don't know, it's kind of confusing how it keeps switching like days it's supposed to come out. Unless this was just a one-time thing. I guess I'll find out next week whether it comes out on Monday or Wednesday, but still. So anyways, this week's episode was pretty interesting. However, it was kind of confusing at first, I thought. Because it started out like... When it started out, I thought it was like completely disregarding the end of the last episode. In which case, I would have been kind of pissed, okay? I was kind of disappointed by the ending as well, but it wasn't bad, but I'll get to that later on. But basically it started out with these basically Kiryu, Tomoyo's older brother, and apparently his team, which I forget what it's called, but they're basically these team of power users, and essentially, who are apparently currently engaged in a war with this organization called F. And, you know, it's kind of confusing, but it's also kind of interesting. Okay, I really hope they do something with that later on in the series. But then, the other thing towards the beginning of the episode that kind of made me think they were completely disregarding the end of the previous episode was that we saw Ando and his friends, including Hatoko, all together, talking about going to, like, the arcade, I think. Okay. However... apparently all of that was just to show exactly what Kiryu and his friend and his team was doing before they ended up meeting Hatoko at the end of the previous episode. Okay, basically they were trying to capture this one member of I forget which one has the healing powers, but they were basically trying to capture her, and they ended up capturing Hatoko instead. But Sayumi ended up using her power to basically locate Hatoko and teleport her back to the club room when she was still unconscious, which was pretty cool. The thing that kind of disappointed me, though, in this episode was that I really wish we would have seen, like, a fight between the two teams, okay? Like, that's what I was really expecting. I was really expecting something a bit more dramatic than what we actually got. Okay, so if I was to pick a flaw in this episode, to me that would definitely be it. Aside from the animation, which was pretty good, which was decent here and there, but it wasn't too good, but it's never... usually extremely good for the most part in this series, okay? Like, it's hardly ever outstanding in this series, but those are really the only two complaints I can honestly think of about this episode, okay? My favorite scene in the episode was probably the makeup scene between Ando and Hatoko, because the last episode really hit me hard when Hatoko completely blew up. But then again, I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't a bit more dramatic of a makeup scene, okay? Because considering how dramatic Hatoko's scene was where she got pissed off at Ando, you'd think there'd be a lot more dramatic of a makeup scene in order to make all of that up, you know what I mean? And maybe Hatoko spilling her heart out exactly why she doesn't understand this, and Ando trying to make up with her. That, I think, would have made it even better yet. But this episode in general, I still thought was pretty good, though. I really enjoyed it. Okay? If you've yet to see this week's episode of When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace, then I definitely recommend that you do. I cannot wait for next week's episode. It's getting pretty interesting now, I honestly think. So anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. These after guys, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.